So can you share a bit about yourself, which is outside of the domain of work? What else has caught your curiosity? What else have you continuously invested in or started to invest in over the years?
It is all consuming being a founder, and you have to learn to manage your time. When my kids were little, that was quite a challenge because I wanted to spend time with them in the evenings when I got back from work. Often I'd have to go to evening receptions and things like that, so I wouldn't even see them in the evenings. So that was a challenge, and many a time they would go to bed at 9 o'clock or whatever, or 10 o'clock,
Yeah,
and
sure.
then I would then sit down with a strong cup of coffee and work through till 3 in the morning or whatever. Now I don't have to do that anymore. I have a really fascinating, very full life. A very privileged to live in London because the cultural life in London is so amazing. The theatres, the galleries, the cinemas. I'm also very involved in different campaigning groups in London. So there's so much going on politically in London, socially. I've become one of the things I wanted to do when I left Media Trust and then when I left the TV channel, which is now called Together TV, by the way. It used to be called the Community Channel. One of the things I wanted to do was get more involved in my local community in London where I live. So I piloted doing a local group for social founders, and I've got very involved in all the different groups where I live in Northeast London, an area called Hackney. Refugee groups, the migrant groups, the poverty groups, the older people's groups, the kids groups, you name it, the environmental stuff that's going on. So that's been really great. And I have a lovely group of friends in London as well, so I spend a lot of time with my friends. I'm a great believer in physical exercise. So I go for a run or I go swimming every single day. I ran the London Marathon a few years ago, which was an amazing challenge.
Yeah,
So,
thank you
so
for sharing that full picture.
yeah,
Yeah, you have still made time for friendships, for family, for running a marathon or swimming every day. I think that's
swimming
uh,
or running every day.
yeah. But
Yeah.
every day shows a level of dedication or a level of you're not ignoring something,
Well,
which is also
I know it's super good for my physical health, but it's
mm,
also really good for my psychological health, my mental health. Luckily, I've never had any sort of problems with mental health, but I know that
yeah,
just going for that little 45-minute jog around the park or the little gorgeous little streets around here, it just keeps me balanced, gives me its headspace. It's probably a bit like meditation. I've never properly done meditation, but it's so brilliantly good for you. And the same with swimming up and down. I'm very lucky to have an Olympic-sized open air swimming
mm,
pool very near where I live that is kept heated all year round. So you can go swimming at 6 in the morning on
mm,
the first week of January or at 9 o'clock at night. And it's in a park, so the pool is surrounded by trees, and in
yeah.
winter, the steam comes off the water.
Mm,
So
indeed, indeed, and I
it
think
just
you're
keeps me balanced,
yes.
definitely.
Yeah, thank you for adding that, the non-physical benefit that you get from any physical activity is that, and especially more so swimming maybe than running, that it forces you to be in the moment, right? You
Yeah.
cannot think about a meeting or you cannot, and that
Yeah.
itself is relaxing for your mind. So that when you step in, many times you step in with a new insight or a different perspective just because of that break or just because of getting your body moving and a different set of chemicals released in your whole body can do a lot of wonders for your creativity, for your thought process as well.
Definitely. And often when I'm running, I will be listening to a podcast, one of your podcasts,
Mm,
Sumit, or
mm,
lots of, or I'll be listening to something on amazing BBC sounds, or but when you're swimming,
mm,
I don't do that. Actually, there are some people who do have underwater headphones and listen to radio when they're swimming, but I
mm,
switch off completely. I'm just going to say one other thing that I think gives you is amazing for leadership. It gives you energy, inspiration more than anything. It also gives you authority, which is your network.
mm,
I'm known to be a very good networker. I love engaging and talking to people at all levels of society, whether
mhm,
they're the prime minister or running Google, or whether they're a recent refugee living around the corner from me, or a kid who's had serious problems and with mental health. I love networking and talking to people. And I found that has been just amazingly helpful in every element of my work life and my leadership. So because I'm super connected, very well connected, if I need help with something or if I need advice, I can
Mm.
pick up the phone to all
Yeah.
sorts of people. If I'm creating a project, I understand the impact that we need to have and
Mm.
the need for that project. But more than anything, I just think the voices that you hear, the stories that you hear, the listening gives incredible energy and things and inspiration. Inspiration is one of my favorite words.